Hi friends, I am Manivanan Archie, a psychologist and also trainer for bank exams and civil service examinations in India. So in this video, we are going to see Sankhya Yoga and integrity necessarily required for the civil servants in India and the future civil servants who are now preparing themselves for various public service commissions in India. So now, before telling what is Sankhya Yoga, let me briefly describe a scene from Mahabharata, especially from Kurukshetra war zone. So before starting the war, Arjuna wants to see the troops of Kauravas. So he requests Krishna to show the troops of Kauravas. So Krishna takes the cart and he goes towards the troops of Kauravas. And all of us know that Pandavas were on the side of Dharma, Kauravas were on the side of Adharma, where the Pandavas had greater integrity. That's why God was with them. And the Kauravas did not have integrity, their motive was self-centered. So, Arjuna, when he looked at all the Maharadhis who are going to wage war against Pandavas from Kaurava's side, like Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, Ashwadhama, and other 100 brothers, his cousin brothers in Kaurava team, and other kith and kins and friends. But what happened when Arjuna looked at them? He slipped his kandiva, that means the bow, and he slips his arrow out of confusion. And by noticing this, Krishna asks Arjuna, "What happened to you, Parthiba? Why you are not holding the bow and arrow, and you are not ready for war?" Then Arjuna, with so much confusion and nervousness, asks Krishna, "Dear Krishna, I feel so sad and I feel so confused in my mind that I will kill all my brothers, kith and kins, my guru, Acharya, Bhishma, friends." Because Arjuna was so sure about his talent that he will definitely kill all these Maharadhis in the war. And he gives his own analogy that by killing all these people, how can I just survive? This is a sin, this is a papa. How can I further survive? And are you responsible for taking the sin of killing so many people, Krishna? So Lord smiles at him and conveys that, "Oh Arjuna, you're talking like a yogi, you're talking like a jnani, but integrity is missing in your mind." So Arjuna requests, "Dear Lord Krishna, please let me know the truth. Please enlighten me." So Krishna gives the Upadesha, the discourse and guidance of Sankhya Yoga. So he conveys that even if you don't kill these people, they will die one day. Or in this war, even if you don't kill, someone will kill. Why? Because they are in the side of Adharma. At the end, only the truth, Dharma will win. But if you lose them and go, then you are proving that you are not in the side of truth. That means dharma. And they who are from adharma will definitely take truth for granted. At the same time, Arjuna, these Kauravas are not just the part of your own kith and kins or friends. They are the part of this nature. You are the part of this nature. Your Pandavas are part of this nature. The whole universe is part of the nature. And he conveys that I am the nature. I am that complete nature and universe. I am the Paramatma. And you are all Jivatmas. In all individual Jivatmas, the individual Atmas are nothing but me only. Because you are concealed yourself by your self-identity called Arjuna, Dharma, Yudhishthira, Bhima, you are not able to see me as Paramatma residing in you. Once when you come out from that self-identity, the self-identity that's I am, we are only this much only, in a constrained smaller circle, then you are not able to see me. Because of that you get confused. You are not able to perform your duties perfectly without fear and agony. You human beings always fall in the trap of agony and miseries. Then Arjuna requests, dear Lord, please let me know how to get at Paramatma Chaitanya. That means how to realize that I am not just Atma, I am the part of this Paramatma. Then Krishna replies that the whole nature is created by me, and I who have created you. I am the nature, I am Arjuna, I am the Pandavas, I am the Kauravas, I am all the elephants, I am all the horses, and I am being everything. I am who is waging war against the untruth, and I am only fighting. If someone is killing the Kauravas and Magadha is from the Kaurava side, it is I who is going to kill, not you. Half cleared mind, Arjuna requests further, oh Lord, I could just get only few of your words. Please let me realize further more and let me do my duty. So Krishna shows Arjuna his Vishwarupa Darshan. He shows that he is the ultimate. So he is the complete nature, universe. And in him all the multiverses are there. All the planets are there. All the countries are there. All the people are there. In that all the territories are there. In that Kurukshetra is also there. In that they can see their war zone also. And they can see, and Arjuna can see. He and Krishna talking also in him. And in that Krishna is showing the Vishwarupa Darshana again inside. So it's multiverse theory, what we have presently. And he realizes that moment his self-concept disappears because seeing the complete, full form of that nature, or the creator, or Paramatma, or God, whatever we can give name for that. So once that disappears, he realizes that I am inclusive of everything around my environment. I include, Arjuna realizes that I include my environment. I include Kauravas, I include Pandavas, and I include all the good, bad people. I include all the animals. So it is my duty to selflessly perform the work for the purpose of goodness, welfare of this society. And Krishna says that Oh Arjuna, now if you don't wage war against them, then you are just sparing the people who are bringing miseries, pain, and immoral and unethical ways of living to the humankind. So you have to eliminate them. So Arjuna gets integrity in his mind and he takes the bow Kandiba and he takes the arrow and he is ready for war. So dear students, in this short story, I have told about Krishna. You can take even what Jesus praised, that Father, that complete Father, the Paramapita, and also what Muhammad Nabi calls Allah, that complete pervasive nature, and what other gurus like Buddha, Mahavira, and Guru Nanak, they all told me. Those, the bigger form, Paramatma Swarupa. Only I am referring here. It's not just Krishna I am talking. So dear friends, here, when we realize that we are the part of this nature and we are integral part of this nature, we can't avoid whoever is in our environment. We can't avoid a pure saint, or we can't avoid a bad or impure minded persons. And also we can't avoid a king. At the same time, we can't avoid a criminal. We can't avoid our mind, what is requiring daily, and we can't avoid others' mind, others' requirements, others' survival of fittest. Because of that, they have to live, so that they will fight, strive, work, selfish, and they will look for the work. They too have their own economy, we too have our own economy. Everybody are having our own requirements, survival of fittest, and we are going towards that welfare of individual. So everybody are striving for that. So what is integrity here? Integrity we can directly take from the word Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means differentiated tattvas, differentiated principles, or different individuals with different needs and different requirements, different fates. Crores of people are there. Sankhya means this. Yoga means union. Sankhya Yoga means union of all the needs, requirements, survival of fittest, desires, and individual interests, individual morals, everything, all completely united is Sankhya Yoga. When we accept all these things are existing around us and within us, and we can't avoid these things because this is a survival fact in our life. So that is quite important. So dear students, now when we consider all people's needs, requirements, growth, individuality, and try to mutually mend and inclusively lead the life, then we are getting integrity. So this is the concept what Bhagavad Gita, Quran and Bible says. I have said from our Veda. It is there in other forms in Bible and Quran, other religious texts. So since I have told integrity and religious, we have to even define what is integrity. Integrity is nothing but state of being wholeness, or state of being undivided. Being undivided. As a person, if I think that I am the one person, I am one individuality, only look at me, it becomes complete selfishness. But if I think that my own individual need is contributed by others, when I am trying for myself, I am contributing for others. And even the animals, how they are working, the trees are working because they are giving oxygen to us. We are working, we are giving carbon dioxide to the trees. and other people are working for us. We are working for other people. Government is working for us. By just taking care of us, we are helping government. By maintaining social distance, we are helping the government to implement the policies to successfully curb COVID-19. So this is how we are integrated. We are not just individuals, we are connected with everybody and everything on this earth. This has been even supported by a Western psychologist, Gestalt. So there is a concept only called Gestaltian theory, which talks about wholeness. The wholeness is bigger than its parts. If I have a calculator or a watch, this is a watch. This is a whole watch. This is bigger than its parts inside. Each part is integrated with each other. Because of that only I am able to see time. It is ticking and it is revolving clockwise. So this is what integrity. One is having connection with other. The same is supported by Einstein also in his theory of relativity. All people are connected. Everything is connected with everything in the universe. There is a reason and there is a reaction, action and reaction, which is definitely influencing everything in our life. So when nature is so much integrated, when we are in that nature, we are the part of nature, we are also having that integrity in our mind. So we should have that state of integrity to understand that, yeah, you are unique, you have self, but because of you, some other thing is working. Because something else is working, you are getting benefited, you are also working. And you are directly and indirectly contributing for this balance of the universe called integrity. So dear friends, this is what integrity. So when you have this integrity, what will happen? When you have this integrity, you will be able to eliminate differences among the public. For example, if around 60 to 80% of world population are having integrity, complete integrity in their mind, union, Shankhya Yoga, they are having, that I am also contributing for others, others also contributing for me, I have my counterpart having the same rights and everything. So they are also having same counterpart, which includes me also, and we are all integrated together. It's working. When you think in that way, when these people think in that way, automatically differences are reduced, caste systems are reduced, confusions are reduced, crimes are reduced, and atrocities, communal clashes, riots, war situations, and negative competitions, jealous and anger like negative emotions, all these things are reduced. At the same time, what is the possibility? What are all the advantages from this? The first advantage is you will find you in others and you can find others in you. So you will be able to respect each other. You will be able to respect others' needs and requirements. Others will respect your needs and requirements. We can become equal in mind and liberated, feel peace in mind. Especially, you will become more honest because there is no need of having negative competition with them, with others. Just you have to survive, others will survive, they will help you, you can help them having a happy, blissful life. And the same, one more is actually, there will be a collective decision making. You will include everybody. If you are very rich man, you will include even from the smallest category, economical category persons. If you consider yourself a higher caste or lower caste, you will include vice versa higher caste and lower caste people also. Everybody will work together. You will not see the people who are a scavenger, like they are working in the public streets and public toilet and these areas when they are working, you will not see them as some third category people. Like, you will also treat them like equal to you. They will also feel comfortable. They will feel like growing in their life because you are giving support to them, and they will definitely develop themselves. The society will glow and grow like heaven, and all people will become solution based. That means they will be part of the solution for any problem, but they will not be the part of the problem. So they will be the part of solution. And one more very important thing is actually the world will become productive. The whole people of the world will become productive decision makers, not destructive. We all have created nuclear. Most of the countries are nuclear countries. In the way we think that we are protecting ourselves, but we have actually made a demon in our life. We have kept. It will not only just harm the enemy, which also harms our own people. But anyway, still we have integrity among the world leaders and world countries. So still they don't even raise the word nuclear now. Why? Because that shows the cultured or civilized immaturity of the people. Just showing them having the advanced weapons and threatening the people. Of course, that is one way it is beneficial to show that we are strong, that people with greedy land, that means the countries with greedy land acquisition needs or desires, will not easily touch us. But when we have the complete integrity with all the peoples, then people will not even have the greed for the land. It is the quite unique factor which a civil servant should have. He should include everybody in him. You can check your syllabus only if you see IAS syllabuses or state service syllabuses. Why you have to read history, geography, physics, science, polity, economy? If you are an administrator, you are going to be bureaucrat and administrator. You can just read public administration or political science, constitution, you can get through the exam and enter into the service. But it is not so. Why? Because we need integrity. We need to include everybody, all the category people. In geography, we will see all the segment of the people. Even what our society has kept, lower caste, SC, ST, OBC, FC, or in that also so many classifications of lower caste, upper caste branches are there. So many are there. With that, so many identities. It's okay. Those are all things only are dividing us. But India, you might have read the preamble of our constitution. So our constitution has that integral value. Integrity is there. So we who are the executives of this constitution should have that integrity. All the caste people, all the segment of the people, all the religions of the people. This is the basic technique of even getting the Samkhya Yoga, integrity, that accepting whatever is there around you, even the complete positive, complete negative, moderate positive, moderate negatives. Or these are all the people or the concept or situations, whatever may be. You have to accept everything. For example, we have so many religions. There is a difference between being religious and being spiritual, and being atheist also. So as a civil servant, we should accept all the three people. You can't identify that I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, and I am a Christian. You can't identify that as a civil servant. You have to identify yourself as the collective representative of all the people. If you are spiritual, yes, that's good. If you are atheist, that is also good. But you have to accept all the people. Why? Because when you are trying to be in the public service, you are going to integrate all the people. If only you are integrated in your mind. If you are integrated in your mind, if you have integrity in your mind, bringing integrity among the public is easy. Or otherwise, somehow you will show your identity that I am such religious, or I am spiritual, or I am atheist. If you are spiritual, then your views might differentiates with atheist people. If you are atheist, then definitely you will be having clashes with so many people in India because so many people are spiritual. And when you are a balanced person, then how you are communicating with the public or your officers, your daily routine office, in your service, will definitely have clash with religious people. So these are all the problems. How, as an individual personality, can you able to handle it? That is difficult. That's why you should have that integrity. You should represent the constitution that I am inclusive of all the people, all the state people. If you are from Karnataka, you can represent Tamil Nadu people also. If you are from Tamil Nadu, you can represent Karnataka people also. And we should also consider about Pakistani people also, and other neighbor people also, Chinese people also. Patients, the people who are patients, the people who are doing well, business people, lower caste people, lower income people, moderate, middle class people, everybody should consider as part of you. When you have this quality of integrity, now you look into your syllabus will look very small. You will not be surprised and wondered by the syllabus. You will see the syllabus is small. When you don't have integrity, when you look into the syllabus looks huge, which threatens you. We should also integratively accept our senior, the students who are senior in preparing for civil service, who are first time they are giving their attempts, who have cleared, ministers, all the different parties, different interests, different countries. When you have that integral approach only, your horizon of maturity, intelligence expands. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you will become that Shankya Yogi, which means that you are integrated being with this nature, and you will become the part of solution, not the part of problem. And there are so many people, we have examples in this regard. Gandhiji, Nelson Mandela, and Fidel Castro, and we have Abdul Kalam. So many people we have in our country and other countries also. So this is what means integrity, what has been mentioned in our Indian yogic culture, Shankya Yoga, through which we can become not just leaders, we will become the mentors, the administrators who will bring our society a complete welfare society, a complete integral society, a complete democratic and advanced democratic country, and all world will be united as one family and live happily with bliss. We shall see further more concepts in next video. All the best. Jai Hind.